focus on that value unlocking that we saw in HEG. Now, the proposed value unlock in Bhilwara Energy, in which HEG currently holds closer around 49% odd. They have approved a fundraising in Bhilwara Energy to raise closer around 500 crore rupees, and Singularity AMC is the one that's going to be taking a stake. To understand more about that, we're joined by Mr. Riju Jhunjhunwala, who's the Vice Chairman of HEG. Hi, Riju. Good morning and good to see you in. Give us a few details. What we understand is Singularity will have close to around 9.6% stake for the 250 crores that they're going to be putting in. For the remaining 250 crores, at what valuations will it come in? And post the entire 500 crores, what stake will they have in Bhilwara Energy?
Good morning, Nigel. Nice to be back with you. And this is basically in continuation to the last time what we discussed about the demerger process that we are going through in HEG. So Bhilwara Energy is and HEG Graphite Limited are getting demerged, and Singularity has come into the Bhilwara Energy level right now. And the numbers that you mentioned were exactly the same. So 250 in the first round and 250 in the second round, both at the same valuation.
So both at the same valuation implies that, by the time you raise 500 crores, they would have just below 20% stake in the company. That's Bhilwara Energy that we're talking about, right?
So in Bhilwara Energy, they would have around 17.5% stake to be exact. Okay. And then, of course, the demerger process would happen, post which they would be holding around 12.2% in HEG Green Tech, which is the proposed new entity. And the balance would be between the promoters and the current shareholders of HEG.
And what would the promoter shareholding be in both the companies post-demerger?
So in HEG, it would remain exactly the same as what it is today, 55%.
Yeah.
And in Bhilwara, in the HEG Green Tech, which would be the new company, I'm just using the word HEG Green Tech because that is what we propose the new company's name to be. So in HEG Green Tech, the promoters would have held 70% stake because we are also bringing in 51% of our own shares of Bhilwara Energy. So that would have been 70-odd%, but after this deal happening, it would be close to around 60%.
Got it. Okay. All right. So we have got that out of the way as well. Give us a breakup then, in terms of what is this money going to be used for? In your release, you're mentioning that 3,000 crores is the total Capex you have for this renewable energy part, green tech part of your business. Break it up for us. I'm guessing Anode gets the most, right? So break it up for us, the 3,000 crores. And how does funding come about? Currently in HEG, the listed entity, which has both the two, parts of the business, that's the graphite as well as the green tech business. Currently, there's around 700-800 crores odd. All of the money comes to HEG Limited?
So I'll tell you, Nigel, what is happening is that the reason for this demerger is for us to have a serious play in this whole energy transition space. And the breakup of that 3,000 that you started to begin with, approximately plus minus 5%, I can give you the breakup. Around 1,800 crores would be in this TACC entity, which would manufacture high-grade synthetic graphite anode for lithium-ion battery manufacturing. Around 200 crores we are investing in the graphene business, which is also, again, a very high-end, and we've already got a team of 7 to 8 PhDs with a lot of patents, etc., for which we'll be going ahead with a facility of around 200 crores. Another 750 odd crores will go into the bottle-to-bottle recycling business, in which basically we would be producing food-grade resins from PET bottles. Around our energy storage business, RE+, which currently comes under Bhilwara Energy Limited, that is seeing a lot of traction in the market, and we already have a 1 gigawatt factory which is operational near Pune. So we are taking that up to 6 gigawatt hour. The work on that has already begun. So around 250 crores would be spent over there. And then, of course, with that particular business, you have a lot of government IPP tenders, etc., that you bid. So we won a recent tender with GUNL, in which around 200 crores will go into that. But that is money that will keep rotating from time to time when the project gets complete.
Right.
So the ideal breakup of 3,000 is 1,800 anode, 700 crores in your food grade bottle to bottle, around 200 crores in this thing, the
Right.
graphene, and
the battery.
50 crores in RE plus.
Got that. So then a follow-up two-part question on that. How long before all of this capacity is commissioned and fully utilized? And the obvious question is, once all of this is, utilized at optimum level, what is the revenue and EBITDA potential?
So for all these projects, we've already procured all the land. The bottle-to-bottle project is going to be coming up in the state of Rajasthan. The technology tie-up, etc., is all on its way. We have been working on this for the last 2 years. It kind of slowed down with the battery prices coming down across the world, as you saw in China in the last 18 months. But now we are in a position to start placing all the orders. And by December 2026, we'll start full commercial production in the anode plant. And also around September 2026, we would have full production in the bottle-to-bottle grade company.
And what's the revenue and EBITDA?
Already is RE Plus is already executing orders of more than around 500 to 600 crores, and the ramp up over there and the government traction that we are seeing over there is very, very significant.
So if we were to look at HEG Green Tech, what would the revenue and EBITDA of the company be?
So I mean, in lack of, because, in these businesses, things keep changing every day. But specifically, if you ask me for the anode business, we're targeting an EBITDA of around 700 to 800 crores by the year 2029.
700 to 800 crores will be on what revenues? Just want to understand the margin picture.
On revenues of around 2,500 crores. So you're talking about around 30%.
30%. 30%. So you're putting around 1,800 crores in this anode business. You'll be getting revenues of close to around 2,500 crores, and you're saying you'll do a bit around 7.
At 90%. That's why I'm here saying 29.
EBITDA of 700 to 800 crores, correct?
Correct.
And the cash that is there currently in the one consolidated entity, the Green Tech or the HEG limited part of business will get all of that cash. Is that correct?
So we don't get all that cash. That cash will already be spent by December, by the time the demerger happens and the NCLT approval happens. Okay. The work is in full flow in TACC. So we would have exhausted all the 750 crores cash that we are talking about into placing all the orders. So the demerger happens by December.
And what does the balance sheet of both these companies look like? You said the cash will all get exhausted. So what would the debt profile of HEG and HEG Green Tech look like?
So HEG would be a HEG Graphite, if I were to use the word, would be a debt-free company. And even the Bhilwara Energy, which is today debt-free, we have cash of 300 crores lying in its books. And obviously, it's a very, very valuable asset for us. 300 megawatts of run-of-the-river hydro plants. So you've got a constant EBITDA of 125 to 150 coming in from that as well. So as and when these projects start getting implemented, obviously we look at 30-70 kind of a debt-equity ratio.
All right, Riju, thank you so much.
But for the next 1 year, we would not be requiring any debt for any of these.
Okay, all right, Riju, we'll have to see how things evolve. Just a quick question on the graphite business. Will you be able to comment? Is demand as strong as you all expected? Have you all seen any kind of price increases?
Manish should be the better guy to comment on that. But from whatever I've discussed with him this morning itself, I mean, next year we would be operating 100,000 tons and we would be close to around 80-85% capacity utilization over there. And for the first half, the demand remains a bit sluggish, as we've been talking. But the second half, all the graphite companies have announced price increases. So we should be able to full,
Got it. All right, Riju, appreciate you joining in and giving us all the details about the Green Tech business. When you'll report your Q4 numbers, we'll catch hold of Manish and ask him about how things are panning out for the graphite electrode business as well. Thanks a lot for joining in. For the time being, we'll slip into that short break. Come back, we'll continue to focus on markets and stock-specific action.